Hey there, beauties. Welcome back to my channel, A Fit Life Center, where I teach you small coping strategies to help you either begin, continue, or maintain a life that's fit for you. And if you've been here for a while, you know that a life that's fit for you is unique to you. And the way that you find out what that is that you have to take a little journey of discovery to find out what works for you. Because once you build the infrastructure of your life and make it work for you, everything that you create will feel more like an extension of you rather than you working or chasing or running behind it. So that's what we do here. And I'm Sharon. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I've been helping people for years deal with anxiety, depression, trauma. But these days I like to talk about wellness because I think we know and our society keeps us in a state of not being well, of always trying to manage stress, which makes us not know how to be well. So I'm here to help you be well and to help myself be well as well. Or two. Yes. All right. So it's been hard to get back in front of this camera since I took my sabbatical. And I've been thinking about why it might be so hard. And I think I finally figured out that what happened was so profound that I'm having difficulty putting it into words. Okay, so I wanted to spend some time today talking about my sabbatical. If you've been following me on this channel, you know that in March, starting March 2nd, I went on a 30-day sabbatical. And so it has been hard for me to get back in front of this camera because it's been hard for me to put into words how the sabbatical went. It was so profound that words are hard, but I'm going to try because I think it's important that I do try. So first of all, the first week of my sabbatical was spent with 7 other absolutely amazing Black women. So Sarah Clark of Sarah Clark Yoga, you can find her on Instagram and Facebook if you want to check her out. She hosted a retreat in Grenada in the West Indies in the Caribbean. It was called Breathe and Just Be. And it was just that. It was amazing. I got to be with these 7 other beautiful beings in this beautiful place where we exchanged energy and laughed and did yoga together and ate together and just filled each other with joy and all the things that we needed. I felt like these 7 women were 7 pieces of myself that I got to view, and I just loved it. And can I say it made me feel really dope? If I am a reflection of these 7 beautiful women, then I am a dope human being. And that's really how I felt. So that was the first week, and just resting and being on that beautiful Grand Anne's beach. Man, if you haven't been to Grenada, highly recommend. 10 out of 10. It's a vibe. It's a different experience. I'm from Arizona, right? So this might not be big for some of you, but this was big for me. Every person that I gave money to, that did business with, that helped me with something, that provided a service, they were Black. So my money was going directly into their hands. It was divine. That thing made me so happy to bless people who are wanting their own businesses, right? And to be able to just bless them and put that money right in their hands. Like, I'm for that 100%. So that was the first week of just that. And I got to tell you, you know, I talked on this channel about having some menopausal symptoms. One of them, the biggest one, being insomnia. I'm now wondering if it was menopausal, and here's why. So that first week I was still struggling with sleep. I wasn't sleeping great, but every day I started to notice I felt a little bit more relaxed and at ease and rested, right? Because I wasn't on any schedule, wasn't doing my usual work. Really all I was doing was eating and laying around and eating and laying around and eating and laying around. It was great, right? And so it started to get better. The second week, the retreat was over. I went to my Airbnb. I'm gonna give you the straight tea because everything isn't great, right? That Airbnb, 0 out of 10. Do you hear me? Do not recommend. The Airbnb was up in a mountain in the middle, like way away from everywhere. The host did not give me accurate information on where the location was. I didn't know that it's a thing that Grenada doesn't have physical, a lot of places don't have physical addresses. Sarah did tell me that that was a thing. So it gave me less worry when I found out that that was a thing. So she gave me kind of like where the Airbnb would be, which was by a beautiful resort, right? And she said it's right across from there. And when I looked in that location of that resort, there were restaurants, the grocery store, nail shops, the beach, all of it was right in that vicinity. Well, baby, let me tell you something. When Grenada has their own version of like Lyft or Airbnb, called Hey Up or Hey Up or something like that. I don't remember, but something like that. When that kind driver started taking me up that mountain, I was like, where you going, sir? Where are we going, right? And he just kept going and going and going and going. And the Airbnb was at the top of this mountain. The road was narrow. It was big enough for a car to be up there. And all I could think about was, I'm gonna be walking up and down here trying to get grocery. No, I sat there for about an hour and a half, had a bit of a meltdown. And then I remembered I am not powerless in this thing, right? I get to use my power to make a decision about what I want to do about this. Because the agreement that I had made with myself when I went to Grenada on this solo sabbatical was that my comfort was going to come first, and I was going to do whatever I had to do to course correct. Whether that meant spend more money, lose more money, make another decision, whatever it took, right? So long story short is, I was about to say I packed up my stuff, but I never unpacked. I sat there for an hour and a half, and I could not, for the life of me, get my spidey senses to calm down. My spidey senses was going off like, girl, you in danger, girl, you in danger. And I might not have been in danger, but it didn't feel safe being a solo traveler way up there with no stores or anything that I would need to feel comfortable around. So called, got on the app, and went right back down the hill. My beautiful friend was there. As I told you, she was staying at a great boutique hotel. If you ever go to Grenada and you want a launching pad, stay at the La Siesta Hotel. It's a beautiful, not beautiful, it's cute and quaint little hotel. I did a room tour. I will post it here so you can see it. Shifted gears, it was beautiful. I also got certified in Reiki 1, right? The basics. Reiki is an energy healing kind of modality that you can learn, right? And I got to learn it by two of the greatest people ever, Winthrop and Sharon. They probably will never see this. They could care less about some YouTube, but if they ever see it, I hope they know that I think they are just beautiful. Their house is beautiful. Here is where, so that was Friday. Nerves wrecked from the Airbnb. I'm like, oh my God. I just left this beautiful retreat. Now I'm on my own in Grenada. It's feeling like it's going to be rough. I'm like, duh, oh God, did I make a mistake, right? But we all have to learn how to course correct in the moment and put our peace first, right? So shifting gears at the hotel, and now this opportunity to practice Reiki. All of this is happening kind of all at one time, right? And I was like, when is this opportunity going to present itself again? It may not ever come again. So I'm going to take this Reiki class 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with two of my favorite beauties from the retreat, Lauren and Karen. If you see this, love you. This is where my insomnia started to break. So we go to this house, and they call it the Reiki house, and it's the right name. They have created such a beautiful energy in that house that peace just started settling over me. And I sat in this rocking chair, and I'm just rocking back and forth. And I really wanted to just like close my eyes and go to sleep. And it was the weirdest feeling. And that's where I think things started to happen personally for me in that moment, right? The retreat set the scene, and now here's where the work began. So now all of a sudden I'm just feeling really tired, which is unusual for me. That night when I left there, I slept all night. I mean, straight through to the next morning. And when I woke up and I realized I didn't really have any place to be other than the Reiki, the next day of Reiki, but I was kind of free. I had a slow morning. I called room service. I ordered breakfast and some tea, and I sat on my balcony and I journaled and let myself just watch the ocean sway softly back and forth. It was just peaceful. And then we went to day 2 of Reiki, which was so quiet and so peaceful. And from that day forward, I started sleeping like soundly and resting and practicing yoga in my hotel room every day. And I just started feeling everything, not just peace, but all of these emotions of all the stuff that I had been dealing with since last year started to kind of come up. And the island of Grenada is magical. The ancestors are definitely there. I don't really know words for it, right? But the first time I got Reiki from the magical Eloise, if you see this, you know I love you. My heart just broke open. The tears started rolling down my face, and I was like a little bit embarrassed that I couldn't contain my emotion, but at the same time relieved that I could just let it out, because so much has happened to me in 2022 that I cannot tell it all. But it was a year of transformation. I lost a lot of things, y'all. I lost people that I loved in my life, right? Relationships ended. Relationships are transformed into something new. New relationships came into my life. And all the time, I started a brand new business, and all of 2022, I was grinding it out to make that thing work, right? And it did work at a cost though, right? And so I'm grinding it out. And now the beautiful Eloise puts her hands on my chest as she's breathing and I'm breathing, and she's just with me in this space. And all of those emotions floated to the top. And the tears started running for the losses, for the hurts, for everything. I got to just kind of release it. And when I was done, I looked over and there were my beautiful sisters there just smiling at me, swimming in the pool, right? And I was like, I'm just gonna get in that pool and be with them. And just being with them was enough to help me, right? And the whole second week kept going like that. Like one day I would be on cloud 9 or 10 if there's a cloud 10. And the next day my heart would just be going through it, and something would happen and I would just be like, this is whack, right? But something about Grenada was like, stay the course, right? Because this is where you're going to get free of some stuff. If you can hold the course, you can get free of this, right? And it kept going like that. And by the end of it, this is where the words escape me to explain to you why rest is so important. Because you don't know, because you're still in it so much, you don't really know what you need or how to get what you need until everything kind of just stops. And there's this quiet. And then whatever you believe, God, the universe, I call God God, I call God the universe. I'm not trying to create any kind of conflict here. I'm just talking about my experience, right? When I got really quiet, when I tell you God showed up so big and so small, it was amazing to me. I twisted my ankle while I was in Grenada. I'm limping, right? I go to Reiki. My ankle is killing me. Sharon comes over. She said, did you hurt yourself? I said, yes. She said, your ankle? I said, yes. She said, put your foot on my thigh. And some part of me, needed that maternal love that she was offering in that moment, right? So I put my foot up there and she just put her hands around my ankle. And the love that I felt radiating off of her, I will always remember feeling that love and support, and my ankle starting to feel better, right? And then she made us a pumpkin smoothie, right? And it just felt so loving and so satisfying to my soul to just be loved and supported in that way, because she could do it, right? And she wanted to do it because she believes so much in Reiki that she wants to pass it on. Yeah. And so it kept going like that. And then one day we went to see a film, and that day was a little tougher. And we're at the film, and Eloise is there, right? Reiki master by now, right? And she comes out and she looks me in the eye, and her look is so pure that there's no ability for me to put up any wall. And she said, how are you? And I'm standing outside in front of the movie theater in Grenada, and I'm just sobbing. I'm just sobbing, right? Right then she says, can I put my hand on your chest? And can I put my hand on your back? And she just touches me, right? And she's breathing and I'm breathing. And it was so soothing, right? To finally release all of that emotional pain that I had been in for a year. I released it on the street in Grenada. I just let it go. It just flowed And I didn't know that I needed that, but I did. I went home that night, I took a bath, I slept soundly, and when I woke up the next morning, I just felt different. And I've been feeling different ever since, like more demanding about what I want from my life, insistent upon good is for me and I deserve good. Taking time for myself. I've slowed my work schedule down a lot because I needed this month, after the 30 days, I needed this time to stay with myself and make changes, right? Weird things, like you would think is weird, but it's not. Like I cleaned out all of my closets because I only wanted things in my wardrobe that felt good. Because when I was in Grenada, I realized I didn't have a lot of clothes, but the clothes I had, they felt good on my body. And I started to feel more beautiful every day with my skin just glowing, no makeup on, fully rested. I wanted to invite that energy to stay with me everywhere I was. And acknowledge that one day I'm gonna live, if not in Grenada, in some little place just like that where I can walk to the beach every day. So I just wanted to come on here and share my gratitude with giving myself permission to take 30 days for myself. Because it takes courage to do that, right? And I want to pat myself on the back for taking this time for myself. Last thing I'm going to say before I end this video is going to be longer. I hope you watch until the end. I do, because this is important. This trip was not expensive. Had I not done the yoga, right, the week of yoga, had I just gone to Grenada, I could have gone and spent that whole 30 days, and I would have spent about $2,500 for the whole month. My ticket from the United States, from Phoenix, Arizona to Grenada was $500. And the hotel room that I stayed in per week was about $600. The food, I spent food maybe $20. If I didn't eat out someplace, it might have been $20 a day, maybe, on average, if that much. I went to the grocery store. I bought staples because I had a full kitchen, as you see in the video, in my room. The reason why I'm telling you this is because taking time for yourself is not expensive. It's the mindset you have about taking time for yourself, believing it without checking into it to find out it's really not expensive. There was really nothing to even buy in Grenada, right? They don't have big malls. There's no Target. Y'all know I love me that Target. There's none of that, right? Most of my money was spent eating. And I only really ate out like one time a day for the most part, maybe twice sometimes, but one time a day. And then a couple times, y'all know I'm that girl. I went to the resort, baby, and for $100, hear what I say, for $100, you got the resort access, a meal, drinks, cocktails, drinks, and a massage. I had to take advantage of that a couple times. Great. So that's where my money went. I'm going to take another one because my body, what I realized is that 30 days was like level 1. When I came back, I was not fully satisfied. I could have stayed longer, but I left some things that I needed to take care of. I am tying up all of my loose ends. because by 2024, I am going to take 6 months off. And I'm going to do that and give myself full permission because I want to keep creating. And I realized when I was in Grenada, I can't create if I'm tired all the time. And was the insomnia menopause? Because it's interesting that the insomnia went away. I wasn't using anything to sleep. I was just sleeping on my own with nothing. Can't explain it. I came back here and within a week, the insomnia started again. Along with that food over there is fresher. I ate like a queen in Grenada. Nothing hurt my stomach. Nothing. I came back here to the United States. The moment I ate food, like we went to a restaurant, major stomach ache. Can't eat it. Following the breadcrumbs, y'all. It doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. I'm gonna go where the breadcrumbs are leading me. And I hope you do the same. Please, please take your own journey of exploration. Don't be afraid of it. Because at the end of it is you, the real you. I want that for you, almost as bad as I want it for myself. So, I hope this was helpful. You know I love you. I'm cheering for you. All the things. See you later.